Top 10 most patriotic moments in sports history. That's what we're watching today. My name is Patriotic. I am from Germany and let's react to this video. 10 most heart-touching patriotic sports moments. And I'm a big sensitive guy, so I might cry if this is too beautiful, but let's get right into it. Here we go.
Sporting events are always going to be a central part of the American experience. In the fall, Americans tune in to watch their favorite sports, be it the NFL, MLB, NHL, and even the NBA. Every 2 years, we come together as a nation to support Team USA in the Winter or Summer Olympics. We even sometimes come together to watch the United States compete in World Cup play. It's happened. From the yellow ribbon tied around the Superdome during
Why is she saying it as if it's so
remember
uncommon?
Hostages taken in Iran, to chants of USA, USA, when a crowd in Philadelphia learned about the death of Osama bin Laden. American sports fans and players wear their American hearts on their sleeves. So let's check out the top 10 most patriotic moments in sports history.
Here we go.
Number 10. Team USA carries the World Trade Center flag to the Olympics. Rarely does a flag presentation at the Olympic Games happen to a quiet crowd. But as 8 members of Team USA, flanked by members of the New York Police Department and New York Fire Department, marched the flag of the host country into the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, you could hear a pin drop. The flag they carried was found in the rubble of Ground Zero and had flown atop the World Trade Center in New York when the buildings were attacked on September 11th, 2001.
So it's the actual flag that was on the World Trade Center. It looks a little ripped up, but still pretty decent looking.
That flag was under the debris for 3 days before being found and given to the National Guard. It took some time to convince the International Olympic Committee, who is responsible for keeping politics out of the Games, to approve the display of the torn and tattered banner.
I mean, at this time in history, 2002, do you have to keep politics out of the Olympic Games? I feel like that was an event that shocked the world. I remember it. I was at home. I was sick from school and I was watching it live unfold on TV and I couldn't believe it. I, as a kid, was a big fan of skyscrapers. I loved the World Trade Center. I was very aware of it. And I turned on the TV in the morning and I didn't understand what I was watching, and then life unfolded, man.
But on opening night, the World Trade Center's old glory flew proudly once more. Number 9. Rulon Gardner defeats the undefeated.
Rulon Gardner.
For a decade, Alexander Karelin was the world's dominant super heavyweight wrestler.
Yeah.
By the time the 2000 Olympics rolled around, Karelin, aka the Russian Bear, aka Alexander the Great, hadn't been defeated in a match since Russia was still called the Soviet Union. And even then, that was his only loss.
I'm big time into mixed martial arts and I've been following martial arts for a long time. And I think Alexander Karelin is considered the GOAT in wrestling, like the greatest of all times. Pretty sure I'm not that much into pure wrestling, but I heard about him. And man, just look at that build, this like natural looking man. Dude, I don't know what they give them in Russia, but this guy looks frightening. It's so ridiculous, so thick, so muscular, and then this skill. That must be one of the scariest guys that ever walked the face of the earth. But let's see who defeated him.
He faced off with a dairy farmer from Wyoming.
The dairy farmer.
In 6 years, Karelin hadn't even given up a single point to an opponent. His American opponent, Rulon Gardner, hadn't placed higher than 5th in the world up until this point, and even lost to Karelin 5-0 before. But Karelin lost his grip and a point to Gardner in the second period. Number 8.
So, did Gardner win? He lost his grip and a point. Did that mean he won that fight?
8. Mary Lou Retton wins a gymnastic first. A little girl from West Virginia dealt a stunning blow to the Eastern Bloc during the Cold War when Mary Lou Retton brought home Olympic gold in 1984.
A stunning blow to the East Bloc when she won a sports event. I get it, okay? It's always like kind of East against West when it comes to the Olympics, especially during the Cold War. Let's hear.
Before Retton, Team USA was never able to wrest Olympic gold from the Eastern Europe in the individual all-around gymnastics event.
Really?
She came into the event trailing Romania's Ekaterina Szabo, and she even had undergone a knee operation just 5 weeks before competing. In Retton's own words, she believes her performance showed that American-born and trained athletes can do anything, no matter what the odds are.
I guess they can. I didn't know the East was dominating that much. What I hear, maybe it's more lately, 2000s and later, that China is super good in gymnastics, right? I'm not sure. It's so interesting. It's very impressive what they're doing. Guess she won. She won in '84.
1999
Women's World Cup final.
The 1999 Women's World Cup came down to a shootout tiebreaker against the Chinese. With the score tied 0-0 in extra time,
I wonder how
the US team would end up winning based
female
on penalties.
soccer was at that time.
It wasn't so much the gameplay that mattered, it was the draw. With 90,000 spectators.
Holy crap. Look at that stadium.
So much the gameplay that mattered, it was the draw. With
Whoa, that is humongous. Wonder where that is. It gives me South America vibes for some reason. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but look at the bleachers, how long they are. If you sit somewhere back here, man, or here, do you see anything? 90,000 people though, man, wow.
90,000 spectators. It was the largest turnout for a women's sporting event ever.
Wow,
the lasting image of the US win would be Brandi Chastain's post-penalty kick celebration of the victory, where she fell to her knees and took off her jersey, revealing the sports bra seen around the world. That image became one of Sports Illustrated's most iconic covers ever.
How is this narration revealing the sports bra seen around the world?
Number 6. Joe Louis knocks out a Nazi.
Joe Louis knocks out a Nazi. Oh, all right.
In 1938, Hitler was still touting the Germans as a master race,
right before
while German athletes competed the world over for top honors. On June 22nd, Max Schmeling met American champion, the Brown Bomber
Max Schmeling? He was not a Nazi, was he?
Joe Louis. The first time the two met in 1936, Schmeling took advantage of a moment when Louis dropped his left hand after a jab, allowing Schmeling to give Louis his first loss in the 12th round of that fight. That would not happen again.
Weren't they like friends?
With the world listening via radio and more than 70,000 watching in Yankee Stadium, Louis unloaded on Schmeling, knocking him down 3 times in just 2 minutes. Schmeling was only able to throw 2 punches in the whole 1-round match. Number 5.
All right, I gotta look that up quickly. All right, here, Max Schmeling is often mistakenly assumed to be Nazi because he was pronounced in Germany's Third Reich. Max Schmeling never joined the Nazi party. Maintained friendship with Jews. During the Kristallnacht, Schmeling reportedly hit 2 Jewish boys in his hotel room in Berlin, protecting them from arrest and likely saving their lives. That does not sound like something a Nazi would do. He was drafted and after the war rebuilt his life as a businessman with Coca-Cola in Germany, became close friends with Joe Louis. Yeah, I think I heard that before. And is widely respected as a decent and honorable man who had distanced himself from the Nazi party. Okay, so he was not part of the party and distanced himself from ideology. He lived under the Nazi regime and was used as propaganda because he was like the best boxer in the world at the time. So they just used that as propaganda. Does not make him a Nazi. But I guess in this video's narration, it works better to call him a Nazi. All right.
5. The champ lights the Olympic torch.
I remember that.
Lighting the Olympic flame at the end of the torch relay is an honor reserved for a legendary Olympic athlete from the host country.
Yeah.
Does it get more legendary than the greatest Muhammad Ali? Except in 1996, the identity of the one who would light the flame was a close-kept secret. Even swimmer Janet Evans, who was handing the torch off, didn't know to whom she was handing it.
Yeah, and he was already shaking from
Parkinson's disease and had long since retired by this point. When Ali emerged to take the Olympic torch and light the flame, the sound in Atlanta was less a roar of applause and more of the collective gasp of elated surprise as the once great boxer, shaking, lit the torch.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Man, Muhammad Ali, such a legend. Had Parkinson's disease. One of my grandpas had Parkinson's disease and basically passed away from it. So I always want to hear about Muhammad Ali and see him shake in these clips, man. Makes me emotional, and it sucks that these shitty diseases like that exist. Guys, quick interruption here. If you are fascinated by the United States and all these American topics like I am, then maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I am a small channel. I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to learn about the United States, and I find it very interesting. And if you do too, then please click that button. But now back to the video. But it was awesome, yeah.
Number 4. Rick Monday saves the flag.
Rick Monday, what
Remember
a great name.
Remember the MLB outfielder Rick Monday?
No, I don't.
He might be before most of our audience's time.
Okay.
But Monday was with the Los Angeles Dodgers' 1981 World Series winning team. Before that, he was the top prospect in the 1965 Major League Baseball draft. Somewhere in between, he saved Old Glory from public degradation. In 1976, Monday was with the Chicago Cubs, visiting the Dodgers. With Monday in center field during the 4th inning, 2 protesters jumped the outfield fence and tried to burn a flag on live television. Monday, seeing what was about to transpire, ran over and snatched the lighter fluid-soaked flag. The protesters were arrested, and Monday was able to keep the flag. Ever since...
What a good move, and what a smart move not to tackle them instead and be angry, but just snatch the flag. That was so good, man.
That day, Monday used the actual flag to raise money for military families.
Nice.
Number 3, the president's post-9/11 opening pitch. It might be hard to imagine the leader of the free world facing a new global war on terrorism, being psyched out by throwing the first pitch in Yankee Stadium.
The leader of the free world.
In his own words, he absolutely was. Thousands of New Yorkers came to the stadium to watch President George W. Bush throw the pitch to open Game 3 of the 2001 World Series. It was also just weeks after 9/11. He didn't want Americans to think the president was incapable of finding the plate. But as he practiced, Yankee Derek Jeter told him that he needed to both throw from the mound and not in front as originally planned, and not bounce it. They'll boo you, he told the president. Bush, shaken but loose, walked onto the field and threw a strike.
Very nice.
Eruption of applause.
Okay, dude, I don't know, just the post 2001 9/11 shit. I feel like at that time, being in Germany and Europe, I felt so connected to the USA, and I think a lot of people did, because it was an attack on the Western world. It was an attack on New York City, the USA, but the entire Western world. And it's just such an ugly thing. I mean, George Bush, not a perfect guy, not a perfect president, right? But this time was very hard, and the only thing I could do really is stand behind America at that time, and yeah, hope that doesn't happen again. But we're living in hard times too, I guess.
Number 2, the Buckeye bullet burns Hitler. Before he ever arrived in Berlin for the 1936 Olympic Games, Jesse Owens had already set 3 world records and tied another. At Ohio State, he won 8 individual NCAA championships, which was a record in its own right. When he arrived in Berlin, he knew Nazi Germany was using the games as a showcase for its racial policies, but he was determined to compete anyway. Owens went on to win 4 gold medals in 1936, an unrivaled achievement until some 50 years later when Carl Lewis did the same in 1984. When Owens won gold in the long jump, the Olympic Committee told Hitler he
I mean, I know about Carl Lewis. I didn't know about Owens.
Had to greet all the winners or none at all. Hitler opted for none. As Owens won other events, Hitler would leave early. Nazi minister Albert Speer would later write that Hitler was, quote, highly annoyed by the series of triumphs by the marvelous colored American runner, Jesse Owens.
If that's true, that's awesome, man. Make that fucking douchebag leave. And yeah.
End quote. Number 1. The miracle
Guess
on
the
ice.
power of sports,
Would
right?
you bet money on a bunch of college amateurs taking on the world's greatest hockey team in a competition for Olympic gold?
No, I would not. They probably have 0 chance to win.
Not many would, and not many did, as it turns out. That was the situation Team USA faced in the 1980 Winter Olympics. It was a tough time for the United States. With hostages in Iran, an energy crisis, and runaway inflation, it looked like the American dream was coming to an end. But no words echoed through the ages like Al Michaels' "Do you believe in miracles?" as Team USA topped the Soviet Union 4-3 in one of the biggest upsets in sports history.
I mean, it's a lot of Cold War sports success stories here, but I love a good underdog story, and I think hockey, ice hockey, whatever you call it, is an underrated sport. It's so awesome to watch. That was interesting. I didn't know a lot of these things. I think a lot of the facts a little wrong, like think of the Max Schmeling stuff, but this is obviously aimed for patriotic people, and they like to hear that, and everybody narrating these things, you know, puts a little bit of extra content in there. But yeah, it's fun to watch. I love sports events. I love a good underdog story. I love a good like upset stuff like that. So let me know what you think. Can you think of any other beautiful moments in sports history? But yeah, that's it for this one. See you next one. Bye bye.